Hey David, how are you?
Hello, I am well.
How's your month going? How are you doing on your take profit trader accounts?
I have not traded on one. I blew three accounts. I'm waiting until the next month till it renews.
Okay, fair. I mean, that's discipline. I mean, that's kind of what we're going or striving for anyways, right? Is
Well,
discipline.
I mean, I'm still trading a little bit though. I threw a couple $100 in Plexi.
Oh, I like that actually. I like that a lot, a lot. Because well, Plexi's different though. I mean, it's a different.
Yeah, it's a little different, but I don't know. It I don't know. It's just it's different. So
Yeah, because it doesn't move as fast, and the size is even if you're sizing up, it's not the size
yeah, it's not
there.
the same.
It feels different, even if it's live money. It feels different.
Yeah.
Well. Are you net positive on that Plexi account?
No, I am not. I am not. I was because last night I was looking at gold and I was on the daily chart and I'm like, man, you know what? I'm fixing to take a trade on the one. I went to the 1 minute and entered, and then I left it on the daily chart because it's in that range. I think, man, this thing's gonna go up and touch that top again. So I just left it alone, and I got up this morning. I did that on NAS too, and I got up this morning. Uh, I was over 200 and I was like, you know what? That's cool. So I lost it all back today, though. I mean, I'm down to 120.
Wait, you were up 200 overnight and then you traded
Now
two.
I'm down. Well, I am down from my initial. Let me look. From my initial, I'm down 57.47 from my initial deposit.
Okay, that's not horrible.
No, it's not. It's just I don't know. I traded with y'all this morning and I made a little bit, and I tried to trade at like noon and I lost a little bit. And I decided to stop, and I'm back in right now. I started at 6 because I was thinking there's more volatility when two two sessions overlap, but I'm down $7.50 right now, so it's not been good.
It
So,
sounds like a lot of over trading. That's
well, I traded with you this morning. I mean, I've only taken maybe it is. I don't know.
well,
I
even
went to work, but I mean, I went to work today, so I left the trade running because I, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, look at some of the guys that are the most successful. Like, and not that I'm gonna dare say that's the only way. I think there's a vast difference in like the people who are you got to think some of these people, sure, they've grown a small account flip kind of thing, but they also didn't have to withdraw to live on any of that. They might have flipped that, and made this huge amount of money, but the purpose was never to withdraw. It might have taken them 2 years to get a half a million or a quarter million, but the
Yeah,
purpose was not to withdraw. It was just to leave that in there. So it's a very
I,
different trading.
yeah. See, and that's what I want to do. I was like, man, let me just. I know this is an uptrend, and I know gold. I mean, I'm looking at gold on the daily, and I see what's happened. I see it's been up there one, two, three, four times. I said, man, this thing's gonna go back up there. It's already got a bullish candle, but that's like I want to just leave it alone and just not even touch it and not even look at it and just let it do its thing. I've been wanting to do this forever, just let it go.
Oh, I'm real
But
good at that. I'm real good at the whole swing trading thing.
I, but that's where I can't. That's where I started. But I've never done a daily deal where I just, all right, no stop loss, no nothing. I'm gonna hit it and let it go. Let it whatever it does. It's $120. I'm gonna let it go do its thing. If it loses, I mean, I can blow a prop firm and do that, but I don't know. Am I thinking wrong?
Well, I think that capital preservation, yeah. I mean, there is a guy, he's actually inside of our community. He takes like 100, 200 bucks every week, and that's kind of his budget or whatever. And his job is to grow it. And whatever he makes, he withdraws at the end of the week. Now, granted, it's very high risk. So, worst case, he's out the 50 or the 100 or 200 bucks that he deposited. And best case, he's withdrawn a couple of thousand that week. Like, so that level of high risk, I don't think is necessarily inherently bad, but I think it promotes more of the same, the gambling, the over
Yeah,
trading.
that's
Not for everybody, but I think for some.
well, I'm not trying to do that. I just want to leave it alone, like put it on a point zero 0.05 and leave it alone because my bias is that thing's going up.
A 0.05 on a $100 account doesn't leave a lot of room on gold or, YM or whatever. It's still not a lot of room, I promise. It sounds like, hey, this is not much, but a 0.05 on $100, even with a thousand percent leverage, I feel like that's a lot of risk. On a $100 account, I might do a 0.01 if I was swing trading.
Mm,
That's a big
well,
difference, huh?
yeah, it is. I don't
And
know. I'm just really playing. That's all I'm doing. I mean, because I'm not trading to pass a prop firm. So I was like, man, let me play with this. I haven't been in Forex in a while.
you know what might be a good idea is treating that account like you would a prop firm. So like your only goal is to go get 3 to 5 trades a day, to put tight management on them. And then if it wins, it wins. If it loses, it loses. Do a 1.5 to 1, 1 to 1, or 2 to 1. Anywhere in that window is fine. Even if it's just a 1 to 1, just to kind of build the bone of success. Because remember, your strategy, let's say your strategy is 70, 80, 90% accuracy, which we know sounds great on paper, but the probabilities, whoopsie, of you hitting that target when it's a 4 to 1, finding this trade versus being able to catch this one over and over again, this baby one and this little baby move, it's a very different kind of trading. So maybe if you have another week or so until you re-up on take profit trader accounts. So you today being Tuesday, every day your goal would be to find 3 to 5 trades. And if you don't get to five, that's fine. Okay. But you can't have more than five kind of thing. Your job is to have a 1 to 1, 2 to 1, 1.5 to 1 tight stop. And the purpose is not to see the dollars grow. The purpose is to build the muscle.
Right. I understand that.
That's the
Build
hard.
the system, the money will come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what
a
I was
good
telling
idea.
Robert
I
too. Like
mean,
he stopped blowing accounts. Like he was net positive for the first time ever on all of his TradeZilla stuff for a lot of his prop firms. I think he had a rough day today or yesterday, but it's most of this is just it's muscle memory. That's all it is.
are you talking about Robert?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been watching him. I've been following Robert for a long time, and he's doing pretty good. I
He was,
don't have the time that he has because I think he works from home, and I
yeah.
can't trade. I would love to trade a 15-minute time frame, but I can't. I and
Oh,
I think my biggest problem here is coming from 4 hour trading on the um, trend line breakout that I was doing.
yeah.
And I've only been doing this 2 minute candle thing for, I don't know. I did the breakout system for almost 2 years on the 4 hour. And I was a little bit profitable, but not real good because I was still learning. I'm almost in my fourth year and it switched this year to this, or actually the last 6 months to this breakout. And it's messed with my psychology really bad.
Well, maybe consider adding the trend line on like the 5 minute to the breakout, to for your confirmation. And then you're not
Yeah,
waiting.
I've tried that. I tried all that too. I still use trend lines. It's just the fast moving. It's like, I'll get it. I mean, I'm getting better at it, but it's like it doesn't always do what you think it's going to do, and it moves quick. and I was trading the 50%, and that that fast wick up will take your stop loss out real quick.
Well, especially like at opening bell and stuff, the volume is just so high.
Yeah.
Very, very high. Okay, if my internet cuts out, it's because we've been in a heat storm and then now all of a sudden we have a thunderstorm that is just shaking. It's shaking and rattling. But it's 8 o'clock on the dot, so I'm trying to update all my what is this, trade sinker stuff, which is such a lovely time consuming process, but it is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my indicators real quick, but first, just taking a look. Every night lately, we have moved up overnight action. Okay. Action, for the most part, has been up or sideways. So we've got a pretty good standing that we're going to be sideways or up. Now, tomorrow's FOMC. We still have some of the Mag 7. Oh, whoops. I better do this first. Wrong thing. Disclaimer, you guys already know. If you're getting prop firms, use code 6FTC. Apex has 90% off, making it very, very affordable. Funding Ticks is in there. Take Profit Trader is in there. Has 40% off. That is my favorite go-to by all means. And you guys already know all that stuff. So I almost forgot that because we didn't have to go record. But you guys get it. So we've got this 1 hour time frame. Of course, I'd like us to swing up a little bit, potentially take out an hourly high, potentially come fill this fair value gap. Otherwise, big picture, we finally made a lower low. I'd like to come in and swing past these lows. Now, granted, I think price action is going to do the darn thing. We just broke through a higher time frame trend line, so I'm interested, but I'm not completely, void of the fact that we still could push up, clear this, invalidate this imbalance up here before we get the big swing down. So overnight action, very, very profitable. That would be the target that we're looking for. And since NQ is what I've been trading most, it's just easier to have less instruments too, a lot less instruments. So we're at 2 minutes past opening bell. This is yesterday's closing price. We popped up a smidge. We really haven't went very far, just really edging up. We're up 0.1% on the day, not really going anywhere just yet. So let's see, account 47. I think I figured out some of the nonsense with copy trade syncer, just with settings on the ATM and different order types, which is helping a lot. Hopefully, we'll see, because I always say that, and then 3 weeks later, I'm like, what the heck happened? Um, but a little bit of grace, and maybe. Right now, we're waiting for a breakout on NQ, and I'm updating all my stuff on trade syncer. This way, it's good to go. I'm up an awful lot on the day. So I don't need to take a lot of risk. I definitely don't want to if I don't need to. I will be protecting and locking pretty quick. Not to mention, I think volume is going to be very low. So volume is already pretty low. We're looking like we wanted to break up, but 2 weeks to the upside, not looking too confident there. Crude pushed up. That's nice. YM is too small for this time frame, and gold is gapped up. So this to me is not tradable today. If I was trading it, would definitely be trying to fill some of this gap, but that's almost a 2% increase in gold. I would definitely be looking for the indices to be going down big time. When and if. When and if. But not quite yet. Holy cow, I didn't even look at gold. That's wild. 2%. Who blew up what? Who did what? FOMC decision tomorrow. That's a big bump just for the anticipation of. But we're back at NQ. It used to be if I was looking at the equities market and then looking at the metals, I would be pretty confident of them kind of moving, not necessarily exactly opposite, but I mean pretty opposite in general. Either way, this has not been following that price action even a little bit, and it's not the same kind of trading by far. So I've got the right account up. I'm waiting for an entry, and that's all I'm doing. Let's see.
I was looking for that gold at 5 o'clock. I thought my trading view is broken. Couldn't find the candles.
That was wild. Okay, and Q is pushing to the downside. So if we're taking this, I'm locking at that 50% of that range. I'm taking profit easily in this little baby, just that area of interest, as we call it, right? So prior to the peak, if this was a line chart, it only wicked down for now. ES broke out, but I wasn't too interested, and gold is just not even on screen. That is a big bump to trade into. I might not take a trade. I'm going to track NQ. Don't trade a lot of oil, but oil looks really, really clean. Nice pullback on the bigger time frame trend. That's what I was looking at a minute ago. I don't trade oil in general, but oil might not be a bad idea. Let me get that on my screen too. So CLU, just so I'm ready. Those are interesting candles. All right, let me shut my office door before you hear some boys comes in here. And then Oliver's gonna want out just in a second because people are here. It's just the boys coming home from Boy Scouts. Still no direction just yet. Crude looks the best. At least gold, not tradable because I'd have to be trading into the gap, and we've got NFP tomorrow, and that's supposedly what puts it. Sorry, hold on. It's just your brother. Just come. Look at him. He's my little protector at this point. Anybody who walks near the door, he's very, very interested in not letting them be near the door. Okay, so still nothing on NQ. Nothing at all.
Where's the gold showing the gap at? It's like showing different on some of the charts, different time frames. It shows up differently. It's not making sense.
That gap says almost 2%, which is eh, that would make me anticipate a very large drop tomorrow on the equities. Look at that. Is it different? What does your guys' FX market look like on
Hmm.
gold?
Well, there's no gap on the FX, and then on the the X platform, I really don't see any gap except like when I go to the 4 hour, there's like a big like green. I don't know. It just looks weird. It looks funky. I don't understand. MGC Z25. Hmm. I don't know.
That's what I'm gonna have to take a look at the other. I don't have X up right now, but that's a huge gap, you guys. It's almost 2%.
Yeah, the one that you have is huge. I just don't know why it's not showing for me.
What does yours show on your trading view or no? Do you have trading view up?
No, I can pull it up. I hardly use it.
You hardly use trading view. That's wild to me.
No, I don't use it. I used to. I don't use it.
I use TradingView for everything. All right, guys, crude. If you need the trade on the day, okay, and I don't, I did pretty good. I think somewhere I ended somewhere around 20 some odd thousand between all the accounts. Crude is the one that's looking the best by far. Nasdaq is looking like we might have a bit of a move to be tracking. I'm gonna give this a little bit more room just because it's oil, but this is okay. I'm gonna turn off the magnet. There we go. Well, that dumped right before I even could even move this stop loss. Not in it yet. I have it up, but not in it. Just so you guys can see. Although that pullback would have been nice. Reason I'm willing to enter this is because if I go to the hourly time frame and I turn off all my indicators, oh, there's a decent pullback still coming. A little bit bigger than I would definitely want. But it's with the overall trend. So even just to come up a little bit, yeah, that's too much of an imbalance for me to trade into. Not in love with that either, actually. It is a potential trade idea, valid, but I'm not going to take that. Plus, I don't trade a lot of crude either. But I like how it wicked down, kind of confirmed the direction. I don't have any management up for crude either. That's one valid idea. We've got our breakout clean and clear, easy 2-minute time frame. I'll enter this. Just for my 1 p.m. trade. But we're really close to the closing price. So I would be very careful of how I enter it. I kind of want to get above that. That wick right there is kind of, we like, still showing signs of some bullish action. So let's see what this gives us. Crude, take it up into here. But I would definitely be locking by the time I got to short, come on, in here. I'll make that a white line and make it perforated. Just enough for us to kind of wick up, take out the closing price. Now I'm going to go back to tracking NQ, which is sitting still. Still very much so in that range, very range bound. I'd like to take this. That's your break. You're above the VWAP. You've got your break and your retest of the moving average. So again, I would probably be only going for about 5 points looking at the market volume right now. I wouldn't be looking for a whole lot on NQ. And crude is moving up. Let's see how this next candle closes. I'm going to take it before the breakout. I want us to get a kind of above this candle. We've got our little flag formation or retest. That next candle is great. Formed bullish and we're golden. So I'm in later than I wanted to be. Now let's go look for our targets. Bigger stuff, which I'm not going to hold that long. Let's all just be honest. So we're moving. Bigger time frame, there's definitely some room for more points. Let's see what we can't get. Don't like how that's wicking back down though. I'm going to go ahead and lock this position to where no matter what, I'm not going to take a loss. Hopefully it just pushes up. I have mine set to literally just 10 points. At 10 points, it starts trailing pretty tightly because we haven't had as much volume in the last few weeks. So I really tightened that up. Whereas before, I waited for like 30 points before I really started trailing aggressively. I really don't want to give all that back, but it looks like I might. And we wait. Oh, come on, don't knock me out. Not loving that. And it goes back to what I talked about in class this morning, which is it just better just to get the 5, 10 points versus letting it come back and take out my protected, auto break even kind of thing, depending on the settings. Because now that's what, $100 difference, and this is only one contract. There's not a lot of volume right now.
Yeah, I probably lean towards that. Because 10 points, it's easy to give and take 10 points, especially depending on how the market's moving. But at the same time, too, you can protect tight like that, and then every so often you can get one that goes into your favor, and you had a tight protection, and it just keeps running.
But it's a double-edged sword because the one that you don't protect is the one. So you protect yourself and you get knocked out, but you were right and cool. You saved yourself a stop loss. And the time that you don't do that and you move that, it goes against you, take the whole stop loss. And that's hard because then it's not like a $200 loss. It's like a $400 loss because of the how much up and down it went on the trailing drill down stuff. So I'm okay with that. Just barely, we still got 1 hour range on that 2 minute time frame. Otherwise, not a lot to write home about. But then again, we weren't looking for very much. Crude is playing out barely. Um, Popped up into that, but didn't stay there either. So not a lot of clear direction. Popped into that target level, which I really gotta turn off the auto profile on this tab. So I entered very late, but I took out that first target. I'm still holding one position though. So hopefully I get enough just to get out, and I would be happy with that. NQ is pulling back down, and I want to look at gold.
Did anybody else on the call? Did any of y'all see the same gap? Just curious. You can type if you can't talk.
Is it just Project X that doesn't have it?
I'm looking at AAFX. Well, not AAFX, but I think Extreme Markets or whatever. They don't have a gap.
Huh.
I pulled up regular GC on TradingView um, and MicroGold through Comex broker, and they don't have the gap too.
Well, I would trust this. I would trust the futures market before I trust the extreme.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Either way, and it's still pushing up too. So it's 1.86%. So even if the gap, something I've kind of learned to look at is this. So I'm going to pull this over. Like even if this printed a big old candle, that's still an aftermarket move. That's almost 2%. And that means, so in my perspective, that's aftermarket, meaning supposedly the big money was not involved in a 2% move. That's the kind of gap that I would be paying attention to because that's a lot. That this wasn't during, normal regular trading hours. So it's a big one too, though. I want to see what tomorrow does. If FOMC is this much.
Today,
DJ, where do you not see the gap? Is it on a broker or is it on TradingView? Is it on, because I can refresh this page. What is it, Project X or Tradeovate? Actually, I should check Tradeovate, huh? Wow, Tradeovate does not have that. What time frame am I on? GCQ, right? I'm not crazy.
um, is it GCZ? I think it's changed. MGC Z25. So maybe it's expired one you're looking at.
That was an expired one. So this is what my gold looks like. But price action, is that still,
The
is it
expired ones could probably have a gap from my understanding because even though they may still be traded, the volume isn't the same, so it may appear a little bit different or off if there's not as much value and you get a lot more gaps
3325
for
to
liquidity.
7? So 33, I mean, this price action is moving. That's really strange actually, because that's nowhere on here. Even the numbers aren't lining up. So 3385, yes, that's where current price is. But this, the bottom of that gap, the closing price is not 3341. I mean, that's way down. I mean, it's way down past that too. It's like
Are you on gold?
I GC, yeah, I think so. Yeah. GC Z5. Think I am. Okay, so that broker is Take Profit Trader. Okay.
I'm
What?
on UE Trader, which is Match Trader, and it's like 33.29 right now.
Hold on. So gold futures. No one else sees a gap, huh? Maybe it's the day the contract is switching over on trading view. So like it's switching the contract now. We can try gold. That's wild. But either way, why is that saying? Okay, one more thing to search. XAU USD. Maybe the contract's just catching up for trading view because that's what it looks like here. I didn't trade gold yesterday and I don't recall looking at the price well enough to know exactly what it was at to say, is this actually 2% or not? But if I go here, watch list, gold says it's only up 0.8% here. And that's a pretty, and the price is about the same. So 3329 for this contract.
Why is mine showing 3384 on X?
Yeah,
Why is it off that much? That's crazy.
that's it's off by a lot. So maybe something to be careful of and excited about, maybe, depending on what you're gonna do with it, I guess.
Oh,
So gold, hold on, let's go to futures now, and I'm gonna go to gold.
that's more in alignment with what you were just had as far as where the price is. Yeah. Well, with that gap, that's that price is right. 3384. That's where X is at right now.
Hmm. Yeah, guys, I don't know. I don't know why this contract is off. I don't, maybe it's,
See, the pricing from the other chart that you're on before where or was where the gap began, but like was the gap prior to open. That was the price that it was quoting. And then when you go to the one with the gap, that's the actual price that is showing right now.
I could also go to the current contract, which is gonna be what, August is a little bit old now. So we've got August. The current contract is going to be a little bit more on it. I keep this one so it's permanent, but watch if I go to Let's try.
Do you have a Z on there? No?
No, September. Yeah, I'm sure I do.
Yeah, Z.
Is December's contract, which to this being not even August is pretty far away. And that GC is dead on. Maybe this contract just updated. Because if I add, because none of these contracts are, they don't roll over. They just add to price. So there's no rollover on these ones, at least.
We could probably find out at cmegroup.com. And then if we select gold, we can see which contract has the most contract volume on it. Um,
Trading on Apex, huh? I wonder. Yeah, guys, I don't know.
yeah.
But the point is, I think at the gap aside, the price is about the same. The price is right. I mean, I obviously Forex is off, but the price is right. This is closing price on this contract. We're buying, technically speaking.
You're right. I don't know why December has the most accurate numbers. That's way far ahead. Because we haven't gotten to September yet. You're absolutely right.
I think it's odd that we're trading December's already, but yeah, I'm not too familiar with that world. It's just a little early. Gold rises ahead of Fed decisions. That's 4 hours ago. So none of those news really justify this move. Who knows? Maybe we're going to take this out tomorrow morning. Tomorrow for FOMC. But if that was the case, I'd expect the price to kind of grind a little lower or sit a little bit flat. So let's check this one out tomorrow because this is what the contract for December looks like. The price is 3384, and then this is what the actual comics looks like. Price is 3384. Basically, this data probably just isn't included. It's just not caught up yet. Probably the contracts are switching over, and this will like update maybe.
Now that makes sense. Because even looking at the CME group, I'm looking at the amount of data and contracts that are going, and it's there's so much more volume that's into September compared to December. So they could be transitioning, and then you'll see that volume in the next few days switch over to the December contract, to the December gold.
Because we're here anyways, and there's just no gap. That's all. So we're here, and there simply is no gap. So that's going to be fun to go take a look at. It will be fun. All right, guys. NQ looks like it's trying to push back up again. I would be very mindful. If you need another trade, you've got a nice little retest, another confirmation here. Potentially go get your target one more time, or in my case, a little bit more on the baby target you didn't catch the first time. But just trade it mindfully. You trade it gently. It's not worth taking on a bunch of risk when we've got big news tomorrow. We're not, for the most part, holding these overnight. Most of us who are trading props, unless you're on Project X, just aren't doing that. It's not a smart way to be for the most part. So another wick to the upside. Would like to see this push through. If you are looking for your FX accounts and a place to take it, we've got some highs to take out, right? But for this purpose, I'm going to go the line chart. We've got this area, so that's the right before the 500s, right? But the imbalance, the biggest imbalance is in between here. So it's the 550s. The 550s to the 530s. That's the imbalance. In a perfect world, my ideal price action, which I know is no way to call your charts and all, but my ideal price action would look something like, and we'll mark it up because we're not going to be live. tomorrow anyways. Please? Pretty please? Let's just draw. Look something like this where we kind of come up, we just edge up, we come up into here, and we tank to the downside. Like that's what I would like to see. We're gonna get stuck at a few of these areas, but something along these lines, and then we're off to the races. So now we'll see. We'll see if we get it or not. But I'll leave that up just for entertainment purposes only. But that might be even too much volume to ask for. But not really when you look at how much this has actually moved. It's not really moved that much. So that's all. That's all I've got on the evening. If I zoom in, at least take out that high. All the way into here. That's definitely not a bad trade. Session highs here. And let's take a look at ES. ES is edging up. That was clean. That was perfect. Didn't see that at the time. Crude is still trying to do something. We had a lot of great wicks to the downside, wicked up, closed strong bearish, and now we're coming right back into that range. Not too sexy. NYM is pushing up beautifully, but still only 0.3% on the day. Don't listen to this gold because evidently it's off. Although current price action is right, we just can't see historical data. Gold is also pushing up, which I can't stand when the equities and the metals are moving in the same direction. But we'll see. If you made money on the day, if you are passing your challenges, put that in the group. Let other people know kind of what you're working on. If you're using the dragonfly, put that in the group. Post your results here and there. Remember the whole idea of that is hands free, hands off. If you have not already done so, check out the website, sixfiguretradingcoach.com. For right now, we still have promo prices on quite a few things on there as we were testing all the API software and stuff. But those prices will not last forever, so make sure you go take a look at that. The prices will be increasing soon. What else? Automation for breakout is looking really, really good. I'm testing mostly the PM session for New York because I can get the alerts and stuff, which kind of just works great for my lifestyle. And I avoid the New York chop. I don't have to worry about the pre-market news. I just have to kind of watch out for that 1:30 stuff, 2 o'clock stuff. Otherwise, easy peasy. I'm very, very excited about what this can do for a lot of people. Because if we know it's not the strategy, it's typically the management. If we know it's not it's not the charts, it's the human, right? It's the human psychology that goes behind everything. Automation, if you can tailor, whatever, can't talk, tailor your greed a little bit and just realize, hey, automation, we're going to go cut our risk in half. We know that it's hands free. We're not trying to, go for the moon. It's amazing what's actually possible. I don't care if we're talking Dragonfly, the US 30 copier that's also in there. Which we'll be back to fully automated hopefully here shortly. It's wild to see what's possible, just kind of printing money on your money. That's all we're doing. And you don't have to go for gold. People are trying to make $1 bajillion on that one, that $1,000 account. Probably not a good idea, right? Lowball it a little bit, unless you're going to have your grow it or blow it account, and then it's awesome. There's not a group, DJ. You can use the members group and ask your questions. Sniper Pro has a lot of potential. And a lot of people have made a crap ton of money with it, especially in markets like this. Obviously, you're low ball risking. As you notice, the lot size does not increase, so you need more of a, well, it does increase, but I digress. The thing people get the most wrong with it, in my opinion, is they try to limit how many entries per pair, which is stupid because the more entries per pair, that's how you're going to get out. I would rather have a higher time frame, versus a tiny time frame where all 10 entries are like way down here and then pretend this is the 4 hour chart and then you're way up here, right? But there's a lot of potential there, especially with the equity manager and just being systematic with your approach, having a system in place for drawdown. If you can get 20-30% a month, which you can get that with Dragonfly. As you guys have seen, some people are testing it on futures. cryptos, golds, you can technically do that. I can make it get 100% a month. It's just very hard to maintain that level through, oh crap, something happened with, Brexit, or Trump said something stupid, just all the things that can happen. So that's why I don't really talk about that. I don't promote it. But think about it. I digress. If you can go get 30-40% a month, 20-30% a month, reasonably hands-free, that is life-changing. The first year, it doesn't feel like it. The first year or two, depending on what your starting balances are and how often you're withdrawing, it just feels like, well, a lot of money, a lot of work, a lot of stress, had to switch brokers. But if you get past that hump, it really is life-changing. Like, because it's hands-free income that no one can take from you, right? Diversify with a couple of brokers. Check my link tree. I'm a big fan of Plexi, but they're not taking anybody else. So try TradeSmart, Ox. N1C gets a bad rap because they're not like super speedy with withdrawal, but they are regulated. They 100% are above board. And right now for the FX world, you need above board more than you need instant withdrawals. I know Ox is great for the instant withdrawals, and I have nothing bad to say about them, but honestly, we need regulated for the purpose of, Forex right now. So, but definitely go play with it, DJ. Please test it on demo. See the good, the bad, and the ugly. Anything that Sniper Pro can do, you can duplicate and improve on with Dragonfly. Just heads up, because of how everything is built, and you'll see that after a couple weeks or whatever. But play with it, because as an off risk, running both, for example, as an off risk kind of approach, it's definitely not a bad idea. Not at all. 3 accounts, I'm up 80%, 10%, and 38%. All accounts have only been open for 3.5 weeks. Hold on, I'm gonna take a screenshot of that, DJ. That's freaking awesome. That's awesome. I'm so
Is
happy.
that Sniper Pro?
No, that's Dragonfly.
Okay.
It's going really well. There was a lot of things I didn't know that people didn't know, or like the problems that they were going to run into, or basically a lot of settings and testing, which it's fine, right? But now that more and more people are using it, some people are lowballing it. I think Sandra's only up like 5 or 6%, just to kind of say you see both sides of the same coin. But that's part of it, right? Is to see, wait, I'm up 5 or 6%. This got stuck. One person has switched licensing more times than you probably changed your underpants in the last few weeks. But even with all of that, um, it's kind of cool to see, wait, the good, the bad, and the ugly, which is, if I'm going to promote something, that's how I want to promote it, because I have to be able to sleep at night. We all know the market is risky. We all know the market has a lot of upside potential, and YouTube makes us famous for that. But I also think it's also very deceiving and hurtful to people if misused. So I want truth in advertising. I want the good, the bad, and the ugly. I want the, hey, this is not perfection, it's progress to your hopes, goals, and dreams. And if I got to market it, that's what I would say. It is not perfection. Nothing is. Don't fall for that. People are selling stuff for like 10 grand. One of the guys in the group, he's paid 10 grand for something that's way less than the Dragonfly. And all I'm thinking is I probably should have sold that for a lot more. Not joking, but I was going to. I just didn't because of all the broker stuff. Point is, truth in advertising, some people are at 5% growth. Some people really pushed it and bent things and twisted things, and they're still net up. They don't understand things. They've made some human decisions. There's my only perspective and point is they're net positive with all of the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that's what I want to show people. And a lot of people, other people are trading and endlessly buying prop firms, and they are not net positive at the end of all that. So net positive to me is the way to be. With a little bit or a lot bit, different topic, but net positive for sure. So anyways, guys, that is all I've got for this evening. Gold, I'm not so sure about this because I can't see the price action there. At least not on my contracts, which I'm gonna keep them here because these are my ones I've been using. I will maybe research what the difference is in these. Brika coming up.
Hi, just wanted to say a couple of quick things. Thank you, Jenny. Probably in a later class, I think it's such a good thing that you talk about math and psychology, because I feel like after being in your group for a couple of years now, just seeing the importance of the math and how important it is to like really see, okay, what are the results and go off of data and making the decision and the rules and using all of those things based off of data and not off of the emotions, and then treating the emotions like totally separate. So probably in a future class, we can talk about that. One of the things I wanted to do, which you already did, was talk about the dragonfly. So thank you about that. And then if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit the like button so the video goes out to where it needs to go. And the last thing is, I know everybody's at a different stage, because there was a conversation I had with one person one time too, trying to sort something out. And I was like, oh, this is their first experience investing, so everybody's at a different level. So if you get Sniper Pro, which is awesome, if you get Dragonfly, which is awesome, whatever, if it's your first time like trading, give yourself some grace. And like Jenny will say, is like test everything out in demo, because it is a learning curve. So people who have kind of come into the group with previous investing experience, like maybe doing stocks or doing mutual funds or whatever, I think that there's a level of risk that they'll be used to. But if like you've never invested before, definitely give yourself some grace, and test the things out and listen to trading psychology stuff. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say, just to
Oh, I
encourage
love
people. But Dragonfly is doing great.
I'm so happy to hear that. I want to see what you guys are doing too. I know a couple of the team members are using it, and I'm really excited about their experience too. So really, really excited. But actually on the psychology stuff, Umar, who I guess is a big deal, guys, don't hate me. I didn't know much about this guy until recently. I guess he developed Trezella. So supposedly an amazing trader. I don't have a lot more to say about that. I just know he uses Delta, and I know he's a good trader from what I hear. And he created Trezella. Point is, he made a short here recently that said something to the fact that your emotions and your psychology are secondary. And he did a really good job kind of breaking it down to say, look, you blaming your emotions while you're still don't have your strategy locked in, there's no emotions to blame yet. Like emotions come in after you've got your strategy and your rules locked in. You've done that for 6 months. Notice how these people who are making the hundreds of thousands and seven figures, they're not talking about, hey, I did something for 3 weeks. They're not talking about that. They're not talking, hey, I followed my rules for 1 month, because the market is cyclical. I cannot talk tonight. But we know that. So 1 month might have been the best month, might have been the worst month, might have been a medium month. 1 month is not data, okay? There's not enough data in 1 month. You need a period of time with your instrument, with your strategy, with your rules, honing and kind of defining that and actually applying it. And that's the hard part. We might think we have it written down or on a nice little whiteboard, but if you're not following that, you're still not there. The point is, he did this great little short here recently. If you go look up his name, Umar Ashraf, Jonathan was kind enough to post it in the group. Great trader. He said that the emotions are secondary, and the way he presented that information, I super second. I think it's really, really accurate. Your emotions aren't emotional until you got enough green days in between. I think that's when the emotions come in. The emotions that we're working through typically are not the losing ones. Those are bad habits. Those are bad strategy. Those are bad human decisions. Like that's not the emotion per se. Now I know Jared Tendler would probably disagree with that, because he would say it's all psychology even from the beginning. But I think for a contrarian, concept there, check out that short. I think it's a video definitely worth looking at, and a concept definitely worth considering, because a lot of us, even including myself, who again, I came to futures with a skill set, and I'm not going to fib. I was trying to do too much. I'm still trying to do too much. That's not new or gone, but I got tripped up so much in the differences and the contracts and the platforms and the copiers and the Ninja versus Trade of Eight versus and the rules. I had never had rules. I didn't know that I couldn't hold a trade. I didn't know that this news factor was a thing. I didn't know about this, that, and another, or trailing drawdown. That whole concept was a good few month process to really even introduce. Notice how I didn't say to actually grasp it. I said introduce it, if I'm being humble and honest. It was a while before I truly grasped some of those concepts, and it's hard. But I would tend to agree more so with Umar when he said that emotions are secondary and they don't really come in until after. Like if you look at the big picture, I think big picture stuff, that's probably very, very accurate. So, but on that note, we got a baby move twice if you enter twice. A baby move barely caught into here, still holding. I was close to profit. I'm not at profit again for this other contract that I had. Hold on, where is it at? Here we go. I'm bouncing into profit. I'm going to close this here shortly, but that's my other position on, I took two on crude. And that's it. So two little baby trades on the day. I can live with that. Not a lot to write home on. We got big news this week. Please trade carefully and mindfully. And otherwise, I hope you guys have a great trading Wednesday. Please follow the rules. If you have news rules, pay attention because tomorrow is one of those days, if I'm not mistaken, on a lot of them. So, other than that, happy trading. Take care and God bless. Bye,
Good night,
guys.
y'all.
Good night, everyone.